my husband made breakfast for me, like I had to listen from the other family members, like, in our community, men don't walk. He's made breakfast for me. He's not dug a hole in the garden. He's only made breakfast, which is such a lovely thing to do for a wife.
Such a sweet gesture.
Such a sweet, beautiful, romantic gesture, making breakfast
Well, I don't
for
know
your
about
wife
romantic.
on a Sunday
Breakfast
morning.
dinner hota to shayad maan
Of
le.
course, Amit ji, it's
Welcome to Susegaad Musings, the brand new talk show that's all about the sun-kissed, beautiful state of Goa. Co-hosted by Amit, Chopra and myself, Ryan Lobo, we talk about the real Goa by speaking to people who call Goa their home.
We were women entrepreneurs when it was not socially acceptable.
yes.
I would walk into an office and it would be a completely professional meeting, and I would be getting asked questions like, your husband drinks? Who's looking after your kid right now? And I would be like, stunned. What do I answer?
The sixth episode of Susegaad Musings features two guests who carved their own unique paths to success in the land of Goa. Parvish, Kamat and Khairoo, Khavtay. Parvish is a marketing professional and the founder of E-Tech Skill Academy. She shares about the risks she had to take as a woman entrepreneur. Khairoo is a financial planner and shares how she discovered her own skills and used them to become one of Goa's most trusted financial planners. We prefer to have Parvish and Khairoo share about it like only they can. So let's get straight into this episode of Susegaad Musings. So welcome to another episode of the Susegaad Musings. Amit, we have two very successful and lovely sisters here.
Yeah.
Actually, many of them don't even know that they're sisters because
Most
each
of
of
them
them are successful in their own way. And in fact, you too, you met them separately and only later found out they were sisters.
Absolutely. Parvish, I knew before I did know Khairoo because of my sister-in-law. I think you both were in BNI together,
Yes.
and I knew her because of that.
That's
But hardly met her, really speaking, hardly had met her. And Parvish I knew because we professionally got into contact for a promotion of this. She is the top PR person in Goa. I think right now, currently, I would rather say the topmost person of PR, handling PR in Goa.
You know, I'm just thinking, as a PR person, we should collaborate with her for this show.
Why not? It will be a great thing to do if she consents to do that. And she met us, she evaluated, and I don't think she takes up task without actually believing that what she is promoting is
True.
worth it.
True,
So I realized it when we were talking, and the questions she asked me at that time were quite to the point, very polite. And nothing was, like making an inquiry or anything. But I came to know that I've been put through a scrutiny, and she did her homework.
Yes, because at the end of the day, media comes on your credibility.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
So the media that you invite expect you to do the due diligence,
Yes.
expect to be coming to standard properties or customers or projects, right? And that reflects on you as a professional,
Yes.
whether you have done your due diligence or not.
So-
And I am very particular about that, and there are so many clients and projects I have not associated with, simply because I do not want through media gullible readers or lay people having any sort of
Getting cheated or
Right,
anything of that.
right.
I was glad that she did that, and since she accepted working with us, right, it was an honor because
This
I
was
could
for your
understood-
Goa Greens project
Yes,
at
yes.
Dodamar.
Yes, when we had started it.
When you had started
the
it, and it was one of your biggest at that time.
yeah, at that time it was
Yes.
one of the biggest ventures, biggest gambles also, because nobody used to go to Dodamar at that
Dodamar,
time.
correct.
And when we started selling those plots, it was this thing. That project faced a lot of ups and downs.
Yes.
A lot of issues because of the pandemic, shutdowns, cost overruns because of that. Other issues happened, but still going on. And it probably will be one of the topmost projects of that area, which should get completed in a year or two soon.
Right.
I think
So
another
this
2
is
years
a
it will get
7-year-old story, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
yes, absolutely.
Yes, yes, yes,
Absolutely.
yes, yes.
So, Parvish, can you tell us a little bit? Both of you are sisters. So, I'll ask Khairoo first.
Yes.
maybe. Where was your. Tell us about your childhood. Tell us about. Today, you're very successful into investment and insurance. But maybe tell us the roots and your upbringing.
We had a simple middle class normal upbringing. Went to a normal Catholic school, convent school. All of us. It was a girls' school, so we all 4 sisters went to that
So you have
school.
4 sisters.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we are 4 sisters, followed by a 5th
Portrait.
brother
Wow.
who looks after the showrooms in Goa today.
Uh-huh.
So
What-
we
what
come
showrooms,
from.
if I may ask?
He has a very big shop on MG Road called the Liberty Footwear.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, that is. He has more stores, Crocs and Baggett, and
wow.
so basically our whole community, we are traders.
yes.
So we
yes.
come from a trading Ismaili Muslim community. We had a normal upbringing that everybody has. And those days only few people had cars. You could count the cars, number plates. And so it was a good upbringing, normal. And we went to college. Those days not much choice was there. So, but she was a little bolder. After graduation, she went to Bombay. And she stayed in a PG, which was a very big thing at
Yes,
that
I
time.
had to fight my parents.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
But she
they
had a lot of courage. She did it. So I
Yeah.
always remember her for that.
Yeah, and my mother agreed to fund my education on the condition that I paid her back.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Amazing that you had the,
Masters, that was.
Yeah, I went for my master's to
Masters,
Xavier
yeah.
Institute of Communications, Mumbai.
oh wow.
And there
Xavier
were-
Institute of Communications.
Yes. And there were 400 people who gave the written exam, of which they accepted only 30, and I was one of the girls. So, and I then at the time that Xavier's father, I'm sure he's retired now, he said, "You are the first girl to come from Goa."
Oh wow.
So, yeah.
First one who did masters in communications. Revelation.
So-
about you.
She was very bold, She was the first one in our family to learn swimming. The first one to
learn cycling too.
buy a moped, and start driving on the
Khairoo,
riding
looking
on
at
the
you,
road.
you look at like the bold one.
No.
And she comes across like a timid one.
Exactly.
No.
You know,
Until you
She's
interact with her.
very
Then you come to
First
know
time
that
I met
you're
Khairoo,
talking to a tiger.
I met you at one of the networking events, and I was like, "Wow, what a bold, and outgoing, and this is a proper businesswoman. That's what I thought.
That I have cultivated over a period of time. But if you say Pedaishi in the genes, she's the bold one.
I don't know about the genes, but I think you have a very strong personality, and so do you, Khairoo. I of course came to know you both as successful entrepreneurs, successful women entrepreneurs.
Power
rather.
women.
Yeah.
You could call them that.
They are successful, women entrepreneurs. And later on, when I came to know that you are sisters, I was, oh wow, these two are sisters. You don't look like each other, except for one personality which stands out. You both are tough as nails. And
Thank you.
seriously, but yes, in my dealing, I came to know that she is the real tigress. She is the pretend one. I'm joking. I'm
No,
joking.
but wherever I go, people say your smile, your smiles are similar. There are some people who find a lot of similarities in us.
A little bit time back when we were speaking, I just made a very nice statement. Na? You like twins, fraternal twins.
Yeah.
Different, yet similar.
Yeah.
But seriously, a question. In where were you educated in Goa?
Our Lady of the Rosary High School,
Oh, wow.
Donapola.
Okay.
So we used to come by bus because we used to stay in Panjim.
Okay.
But that
a
was our school bus, and that was dedicated only to our school students.
Yeah.
So it was a dedicated point A to point B. So it would have a track entire Panjim. All the Rosary students would be picked up and dropped every
And back.
Yeah.
back.
So that's a superb thing, and you studied there.
Yes.
After that, you studied in college here.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes.
Where?
College. I did my BCom and she did her BA.
Where from?
That
Dampe.
time the college was in Altino.
Dempo College,
Yes.
both of you. Oh,
Yes.
Dempo.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
that's
that-
great.
Beautiful place, no, Altin?
Yes, very beautiful.
So she finished her BCom and I finished my BA from the Miramar one. So the MP
Okay.
College of
Yeah.
Arts and Science.
Okay, you were in Miramar and you were in Alti.
Yes.
Great.
But the
Great.
same Dempo Charities Trust, same
Yeah,
institution.
but the two different places. One is in Altino and one is in Miramar.
Right.
I think that was the only college, no? Everybody,
Yes.
we had to
At
make
least
a
in
choice.
Panjim.
In Panjim,
Yes,
yeah.
at least in Panjim.
Yeah.
Outside
So
we used to
from
have
there,
others.
you went on to do your masters in communication.
Yes, at
And
Xavier's
Xavier-
Mumbai.
And how did you,
End up in
decide-
media,
Hey,
yes,
how did you
yes.
decide to do this?
Right. So I used to go to Varsha bookstall. That time books were not on the internet and not,
Of course.
So I got an IAS training career sort of a booklet, and there were many careers. So, and there was strengths and weaknesses, and then there was mass comm as a career. So when I read about it and there was strengths and weaknesses, I said, okay, this is interesting. This seems like, something that I would do, because I already had a Bachelor of Arts degree and I was majoring in English literature with honors. So this made sense for me to do. But the issue was, in that book it was that the best institute is Xavier Institute of Communications,
That's why I
Mumbai.
said, wow. When
So
I heard
I'm
of
like,
that.
okay, this is where I want to go and this is what I want to study. So when I came back home, my mother was like, no way are you going, you are not married. Do everything you want to do after married. That's what Indian parents
that
tell,
is a
right?
normal this thing.
That's the statement you get told, right? Get married and do
That's
what you
not
want.
possible also. After marriage, forget it.
So, no, but that's what Indian parents always say, right? To control you.
Yeah.
So I told her, no, I want to go. So she said it's going to cost her 1 lakh rupees, and it's a lot of money back then, right? 1992. So I told her, okay, you loan it to me and I will pay it back to you. And I had no clue how I was going to pay it back, because I was going there to study, not even there to earn money, right? So after I finished my Xavier's, I did not finish it actually. In March was our exam, but in Jan they started having interviews, campus placement.
Interviews, yes.
Yeah. So Times of India came to Xavier's Institute and they announced they want so many vacancies and all that, and students are encouraged to meet them. So I went and I met, and then one of them said that we have openings in our marketing department, which is the response department, which is still there today. And so I applied and I got through, and my entire school batch applied actually, because Times of India was a very reputed
Yes,
group
it
back
was.
then, 92, 93 that I'm talking. And when you talked about print, it was the ruling publication.
Still
It still
is.
is, right? So I got through, and before I finished my college, they had given me a job letter, and that's how my career started in Times Group.
Wow. Again, another aspect of you that we came to know. So, superb. These talks are, education for us also, of how people have struggled, how they have gone through, what they have did to become what they are. They also teach us a lot about you. But, Khairoo, about you. How come investment and insurance?
Actually, I came here just by her husband's suggestion. And so he told me that, you talk well, why don't you get into life insurance? I didn't know anything. So then he took me to the senior divisional manager, and then sir told me, I'll give you a very good officer. And then I joined one person called Mr. Gaukar.
Which year
And
was this?
This was in 1992.
1992.
93.
Wow.
Yeah. So then.
So it's almost 30 years for
Yes.
you also, and
Yeah.
or just over 30 years of career for you also.
I'm
Yeah.
amazed.
Wow.
I could never imagine being 30 years.
So, but during those days, it was very different. There was no mobile, so we had a physical calculator. We had to roam with the actual calculator, with the ready reckoner, pen, fill up forms. No technology, no.
Yes.
घूमो, like landline का ज़माना, जाके मिलो customer को, बहुत चप्पल घिसे. It was very difficult. Today when I sit on my Zoom and I am closing lakhs of rupees policies, sitting in my house, to what I started is like a 360-degree turnaround.
Of course, but it must have been a very strong struggle to go around selling insurance
No, but when
is
you're
probably
young,
the most tough thing.
when you're in your early 20s and you're so excited
You think that you can
about
conquer the
something
world.
new, and
Yes,
yes. You have that so much
Zeal
of
and
ambition
stamina
in you.
also.
Yeah, stamina.
Mental strength also to go push through disappointments, I think.
And my DO told me that you have to do 12 policies for the financial year. I think 7 months were left, and you have to do 12 policies. Otherwise, you will not even get your renewal commission. So I think I did 12 policies in the first 2 weeks.
Wow.
And then I ended up with 165 policies end of the year, and I was the fastest crorepati of Goa division. So my photograph came in all the newspapers and all, and I was like, wow, this is good. You get fame and you get money. This is what I want to do.
That is, that's an honest
So I said, ये
Confession.
ठीक है, सिर्फ पैसा भी आ रहा है.
नाम भी मिल रहा है. अरे
People
वाह,
are also
अब तो
recognizing you. So I said, this is very good. This is good fame, good honest money coming into your bank account, and this is what I am going to do.
So Khairoo said, this is I'm getting money in check, and I'm getting fame at the cost of the company. I'm getting famous. और क्या चाहिए? चांदी होगी मेरी. आगे good.
बस लगे
You
रहो.
have a natural talent for it.
Yeah.
So
I think when you have good relationships, your nature is your future. I have a mentor now, last 12, 13 years. So he always says, your nature is your future. What kind of a person you are, the aura you have, you pull that back.
That's great. That's great. A good way of putting
Just
it.
that. But that I realize it today. Those days, I don't know what went right for me.
Khairoo is just putting a reel in and not putting that angle in. But very soon you're going to get a call from her office. No, this is a joke, but seriously.
No,
she is one of the top insurance advisors of Goa. And probably, more than her sales, what brings her more clients is, I think, the kind of service she provides. And she's very, meticulous about reminding clients, about following them up, about helping them when they want, somebody is admitted in the hospital, you call her up, she'll follow it up, try to get it done, goes beyond what is required. So I've seen that about you, Khairoo. That's why people do come to you.
Absolutely.
And
very true.
People like me also who are very, I say,
diligence,
this thing, not diligent. I am a real estate guy. I would rather put everything I have into real estate. Yet, Khairoo has convinced me enough to, at least on basic these things, this is the cover you require, Amit bhai. This is what you should take. And she's made me go beyond what I would have ever dreamt I would do. Yet, I'm very thankful to her because it was right advice. The advice was very right. I value what she told me.
Yeah.
And that was my belief also. So somehow one of the few people who actually came and spoke what I used to think about it. And I took it. कि ये इतना तो ले लो. And then मेरा दिमाग खराब हो गया. And I went beyond what I should have taken. So I believed some incidents also happened. And Khairoo and me were discussing, without taking any names, very known person's son had some issues and medical thing happened. And the insurance cover was short. It was a young guy who had suffered something, and we were discussing it. And then I said, "Yeah, probably this cover is also not enough. Khairoo, can we enhance it to this?" And I got a very good insurance cover. I hope no doctors are watching it. Bhai, nahi hai mera insurance. So I don't want to land up in a hospital and getting turned into a bakra just because I have a good insurance. But seriously, with that insurance cover, a comfort comes in.
Yes.
Your peace of mind comes in that if tomorrow there is something, at least for myself, then that medical cover is for me. You take term insurances for your family, but the medical cover is for you.
Absolutely.
For the other risk coverage,
so it's
accident,
peace
accidents,
of mind. What
it's for
she is
you.
giving is peace of mind.
So
Absolutely.
that thing was a great suggestion that she gave to me, and I accepted it. I took it a little further than what she had also told once I realized, Baba, today's times require more coverage.
Absolutely.
As we age, the things can become, and as early as you can do it, take covers, keep on enhancing it as soon as you can afford it, is what I came to understand from her. And I did it. Not only did it, I think I pushed a lot of people towards it. Young people need to understand the importance of insurance and investments. So, Khairoo, you fulfill that. And what is your normal this thing that you tell people that why should you, and what is the requirement of health, medical, or whatever kind of insurances?
There is a scientific way we calculate. So first we see where the family stands. There is a we understand what is the income coming, how many people are earning, what is the risk versus value ratio, and then we put on the other side their expenses, their loans, their liabilities, and then we come to a conclusion that you need so much life insurance, so much medical insurance, so much disability cover. So this is your crux of financial planning. Now over and above, you do all that you want with your money. You buy gold, you buy mutual fund, you put in property, but this is your crux.
Especially put in property.
Yeah, property is a good
Absolutely.
buy.
My angle.
But
I
first,
agree.
First you do your crux, first you do your plinth of financial planning, then you build your skyscraper of your dreams. So
Yeah,
without
agreed.
the plinth of financial planning, no skyscraper will stand tall and strong for a long time.
So true, so true.
And I also tell my customers that more than you having my number in your mobile, your wife should have it, your children should have it, your teenage children must have it. Ki God forbid something happens to you, they know who to contact.
Super.
My number should be like a family number.
Absolutely.
Everybody must have my number.
Right.
So that is why I distribute these table calendars every year. Sometimes people buy new mobiles, they lose mobiles, but the table calendar always remains throughout in their house, and
God
in
forbid
crisis,
anytime people can contact.
whatever it is, एक income tax का statement भी चाहिए ना, they see that table calendar and they call me कि we want this or that, so it helps.
That's a good way of putting things.
What about you, Parvish? You were working in the Times of India group.
Right. So
And
Times group at some point decided to open a Goa edition.
Yes.
So their idea was that they would have a Times of India Bombay edition and they would have a Times of India Goa edition. So the HR people looked at their files and called up everybody who had Goa on their home addresses. So mine was, right. And my mom was always saying, come back home, Indian parents, right? So they decided to have a Goa office, and 6 of us were sent down from Bombay office to inaugurate and to take out an edition of Goa. So that is how I came back to Goa. And I don't know if you remember, but there was a Times of India office in Goa in the EDC complex, in the EDC office.
Okay.
That was on rent. And the edition was started from there. And then it did so well that they decided to come out with a Goa Times. And the first 2 years of Goa Times is where we started, we inaugurated. And that time there was a manager called Shailesh Amolkar, and he was heading our team and I was his assistant, and we came out with Goa Times. And Goa Times did extremely well, and we were not confident internally, how well it would do. So we said, okay, we'll come out with Goa Times once a month. But the response from the Goa market was so great, and especially real estate, because a lot of real estate companies who we spoke to said that, our apartments and our complexes are being booked by people living outside Goa.
Okay.
And Goa Times reflected that. So if your ad came in Goa Times, and then, they got customers, so it worked out. Then the second industry that benefited was hotels and restaurants, which you even see till today. The events page has built up and restaurants has built up. So all that was our professional doing. And then at some point I got married to my husband. He was with the Economic Times, and I had a baby, and it just became too much to handle. And then I said, I need to quit. Unfortunately, they didn't have great women comforting policies wherein jobs were concerned. So I said, I'll quit and I'll start my own. And my husband was very against. He said, salary gives a comfort, money coming in at the end of the month. But I said, no, I want out. Then he said, what will you do? I said, I'll start my own. So I started my own office on rent. The furniture was on rent. The telephone, any which ways, were on rent. The office chairs, everything was on rent. And I started my office in Pato, Kamat Towers. And incidentally, around that time, there was this advocate, Albertine Almeida. Her father bought her the office Okay, and it was a huge place. And she came to me and she met me in the Panjim market and she said, I don't know what to do. It's such a big office my father has bought for me. And I don't know what to do. I said, I'll share it with you. So I'll pay you rent. And she said, okay, my expenses will be saved. I said, yes. So she practiced law from one cabin and I did my advertising and media agency from the other. And that is how Anka was born. Anka means grace. And I always think it is grace of God that has pushed me so far and got me there. So by God's grace, as we speak today, I have my own ownership office built entirely from funds of Anka. And I have expanded. I have started my e-tech skill academy that is 7 years old, which I shared with you. So in that we do a lot of trainings. We also take students abroad for a short global immersion tour, which I just finished. We took 45 students so far to Dubai. And we put them into a university in Dubai. They get a certificate. They go through the entire process. See, not everybody's parents can get access to 35 lakhs or 25 lakhs and give every student a master's chance, right? And even if you do undergraduate student, if you have to send your child, it is easily 50 lakhs as an undergraduate abroad, right? Everybody cannot afford that. So this is a stopgap arrangement in which a student gets a certificate, an education abroad, and it reflects on their CV. So my e-tech skill academy is about 7 years old and Anka is about 25 years easily because I incorporated it in 1996. So that has been my journey so far. But one thing I would definitely like to bring this viewpoint, because you mentioned about how Goa was when we were growing up, right? We were schooling in a convent school where we were so used to saying the Hail Mary, Mother of God, we would say it every time we left for home. So for us, it was accepted. It was our culture. We never thought it's a Christian prayer, and at home you come back.
Actually, this is a point that Goa has got so much inclusiveness, and you pick up traits. I've seen Hindus celebrate Christian festivals along with the Muslims. Muslims Eid, Hindus and Christian friends, family come on Eid, meet them. I love to go to have biryani,
so you
and
come
I'm
back
self-inviting
home and you
myself.
say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, and it is accepted. It is not at loggerheads. And then you read stories about rest of India and where
you both are
small
married to
incidents
Hindus,
set
right?
things up,
And
right? So and then you wonder, what sort of a world? I mean, are we misfits, or is that other conversation a misfit?
But we are so blessed to be in Goa, aren't we?
Absolutely.
So, just a thing, you both married Hindus, right? And yet you have retained your own identity
and faith.
And there's been no clash about it. No, they might have been, of course, because these things are a little personal and things. So I won't dwell on that. I'll just want to ask you that, do you think if you were not in Goa, it would have been that easy for you?
No, being in Goa was very easy because people are more
acceptance was more there.
Yes.
So
they may not accept you 100%, but at least they'll accept
they
you.
will not throw it on your face.
Yeah, they will not throw, or they will not come behind with your knife that I'm going to kill you. Nothing like that, like which happens in other states.
Yeah.
You're killed overnight and
Honor killings
buried,
or
and nothing like that happens over here.
No.
So like before our exams, I remember we used to run to the chapel with our Catholic friends, say one Hail Mary, Holy Mary, come back and answer the exam. Like we never found any difference between Hail Mary and our prayer, that kind of a broad-mindedness we had in our heart,
So basically, I think this is upbringing in Goa and what culturally Goa has been, the difference that Goa has, that it includes everyone.
And especially,
warm and welcoming.
And especially more so, Amit ji, from the community that we come.
Yes.
The community that we come is a very, very modern,
Progressive.
progressive community.
Yes,
so
it is.
we both as growing kids, I could say we were kids because we were not even teenagers. We were like 12, 13. We were teachers. We were honorary volunteer teachers. We used to teach the little kids. Then we went to Bombay for training. So we were like sort of groomed into leaders, you know. We were groomed into leaders when we were 15, 16. I was the Goa scout leader, guide leader. She was the guide leader. We were doing seva in our community, just like the Sardars do in the
That's
Gurdwaras.
superb.
Yeah, but that
Great
is
thing to
more
know.
advertised. But our community, we are close knit, so we don't advertise it. But that gave me a grooming for a good leadership. Today, when I retrospect and I reflect, I think that has helped a lot to develop the
Superb.
personality that
Superb.
I have become today. You know,
Superb.
so we
And
played a lot of roles.
Yes, and
in the
she's so
Jamaat
right
Khana.
about it, because
Yeah.
that taught us leadership. That taught us trying to be there for the community and expecting nothing in return.
Yeah,
That's,
seva.
that's a
So
great.
that's
So we
your
I
came
understand
from the
what you're
concept
saying.
of
Yeah.
seva,
I
and
understand.
it was a very spiritual thing. Like, you know, so you just do seva, you'll get some meva from somewhere. We didn't know who was giving it to us, but today when the place that we are in, we just look up and we say shukar. I mean, it's just been a blessing, you know.
Yeah.
It has
Superb,
come back to
superb,
us,
superb.
and not in the way we imagined, but multifold times better than what we imagined.
Yeah, because see, when you look back, we were women entrepreneurs when it was not socially acceptable.
Yes.
You know, I would walk into an office and it would be a completely professional meeting, and I would be getting asked questions like, your husband drinks? Who's looking after your kid right now? And I would be like, stunned. What do I answer?
क्योंकि वो जमाने में कौन सी औरतें बाहर जाती थी जिनके पति
कुछ
खराब
प्रॉब्लम
थे.
है, जिनको कोई
So
प्रॉब्लम है, और
हमारे तो दोनों के we both had good husbands. Nothing wrong with our husbands. We were working because we wanted to work. We wanted to
course, of
supplement the income because.
But we were looked at through those lenses.
Yeah.
No, I can understand.
Yeah.
But being in Goa, I'm sure, helped in a bit of people accepting you as entrepreneurs. But
It took a long time, Amit ji.
for that also.
It wasn't
Yes.
easy.
It
So
wasn't
and it wasn't
easy.
overnight.
Can I then say that probably you were one of the people who molded the mindsets for more acceptance?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Today, when they look at us, they say, we made a big mistake. आम्ही घरा बसली पय वाट लायली संसाराची. We were as
The
educated
women say
as
this.
you.
The women
This is
say
the
that.
women's response.
I can understand.
We should have come
And
out like
I'm
you.
just also
We should have fought like you. We should have stood like you. Today they have lot of regrets. But when we came out, they were the ones who
so
put
you
us
were
down
you were
first.
the you were the role models.
Today they
Absolutely.
look at us. But,
Absolutely.
But when we began, nobody was with us.
I can understand what you're
Nobody
saying.
was with us.
I
Let
can
me tell
understand.
you that.
And they used to put us through so much
Nobody.
guilt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Guilt,
That's-
shame, everything.
Yes.
All the emotions.
For example, what are the things that they would
Oh,
say?
like, I went for that teachers' meeting. You were not there. You're never there.
Ah.
So it
Right.
make
How can I visit you to your house? You're never there.
Yeah. Any
How to
little
come to your
jab,
house? You're
like,
never
yeah,
there.
I can understand what
Yeah.
you're saying.
You know,
like if my husband made breakfast for me, like I had to listen from the other family members, like, in our community, men don't work. He's made breakfast for me. He's not dug a hole in the garden. He's only made breakfast, which is such a lovely
come on.
thing to do
It's
for a
such
wife.
a sweet gesture.
Such a sweet, beautiful, romantic gesture, making breakfast
Well, I don't
for
know
your
about
wife
romantic.
on a
If
Sunday
breakfast
morning.
dinner hota to shayad maan
Of
le.
course, Amit ji, it's a romantic
I'm just
gesture.
having fun with you,
But
Khairoo.
we used to get beaten up for that. We used to get
Hey,
beaten up
beaten
for
up means
every
physically?
damn thing, not
No,
physically.
this way,
but
yeah.
I'm knowingly asking
emotionally,
it.
you're thrashed. You're made to feel guilty.
Guilty, absolutely. You're made
can-
to feel
I can
guilty
So
understand.
for
I
a long
think
time.
this emotion is there for every woman anywhere in the world. But yes, all said
True,
and done,
true.
we are blessed to be in Goa, number one.
But I'll come in here because I think it took a good 10 years. The first 10 years
Yeah, were the toughest.
were the toughest, and we face this much more.
Yes.
Because
People
that generation
think about Goa
girls-
differently. Because picking from you, I'll tell you a fact. People think कि Goa है, हाँ? Goa में सब कुछ चलता है. But people don't realize that Goa also is a very conservative society.
Very
Absolutely.
conservative.
Despite being accepting,
Very, very
despite everything,
conservative.
Oh, it
it's
is.
also been
Yes.
very
Interesting. I mean,
traditional
we'd
and
love to
conservative also.
hear more
It is
about
very
that.
conservative.
Why do
So-
you say it's conservative?
It is conservative because we live in traditional homes, no? We
Right.
come from traditional backgrounds. So somebody who is, okay, like how she was asked if your husband is a drunkard. I was not asked that, but I was asked, oh, he's earning less. what he's earning is not enough. Oh, somebody was telling me that you're a greedy woman. So, you know, standing up for yourself, making use of your education, you're looked as a greedy woman. Today people say, oh good, you are ambitious. तभी ambition का word नहीं था उनकी
Ambition
dictionary
was
में.
an abused
You
word.
are
Yes.
greedy.
It was rather a slur.
You are not
Yes.
satisfied with your husband's income. So you are roaming on the bike, doing all lafanga giri, running, begging for policies.
I can understand where you're coming from.
And I'll come in here. Even the mindset was making money was evil.
Evil. They made
That-
us
that
feel
was-
guilty
that was-
for
that
earning
was
our
a-
money.
Even
Mindset
in
in
our
the
It was
70s,
hard
80s.
earned money.
Hindi movies वो से पैसे अपने से दूर करता है.
70s, 80s na, people
You know, that
who
song was
became
there.
mature in that period were ingrained in this probably.
Yes.
And the 90s were the breaking out of the molds.
Yes.
When new people came in
Yes.
who broke the
तू
molds,
पैसे
became
पैसे
this thing.
करती है, तू पैसे पे मरती है. You remember this?
I
So
remember this
always
song.
that negativity of money, of
See,
building
wanting
wealth,
somebody else's
all
money
that is there.
and earning money with dignity of your own.
Absolutely,
is such a
that
big
didn't
different
exist.
thing.
We made our own properties, we paid our EMIs, we took the decisions, we did our own financial planning. And when we bought our second property, third property, our family members used to tell us, my God, you're only married for 5 years और तुम लोग इतना सारा कर रहे हो, इतनी सारी property ले
That is
ले रहे
because
हो.
you did what was
तुम्हारा
at
तो
that
सब
time
अच्छा
for
अच्छा
double
हो
income.
रहा है. Means what? I mean, you don't want us to prosper, and I
अच्छा
don't
अच्छा
have
नहीं
any
होना चाहिए
godfather. She doesn't have any godfather. People have seen us go on bikes, burn our
Struggle.
skin, and make our own money. यार, damn it.
See,
उससे
today
और क्या
when we
चाहिए?
have made properties
You know?
out of our own work,
Yeah.
right? And paid EMIs, and we have rental incomes. That time it becomes, there must have been something. And then they look at your 20 years and they feel, so she earned and she made money.
Yeah.
So now it is acceptable.
Today they have more respect than they did for me 20 years ago and 10 years
It
ago or 30 years ago.
always is a question na, when women working, if they are doing successful, kuch aur
And see,
hi hoga.
Amit ji, to
And
be
then they later on grudgingly will start giving you
नहीं,
the
और अमित जी,
respect.
see, we don't have any vices. See, you remember one thing. पैसा आपका कहाँ जाता है if you have vices? Now what we do, we eat food, we dress up, we pay EMIs. हमारी कोई बुरी आदतें नहीं है. So our money is to get saved.
And
Is to
also we came
save.
from parents
Yeah.
who were very saving.
My
So-
father
Yes.
was uneducated. बेचारे को बैंक का knowledge नहीं था. What he used to do? अरे 4 बेटियां हैं. He would buy gold coins. 10 8 तोले की पता है एक पवन. In Konkani they would say एक पवन. 8 ग्राम का एक पवन आता था. My father had गठरी भर के पवन. क्यों? लड़कियां की शादी करनी है. Okay, we are educated. So what we did? I went to the bank and did FDs. I remember I have done FDs of 5,000 rupees.
But
When I
those
collected
times-
all those FDs,
times,
I bought a
5,000
plot in
rupees
Donapal.
was a lot of
Huge.
money.
And, what
And
savings
people
there-
couldn't believe that I bought a plot in Donapal with my FDs. And because my father-in-law was an architect, in a very sarcastic way, they used to come up to me on my face and ask me, oh, you are lucky, na? Good, your father-in-law bought the plot and came, no? Kept, no? So you could build the house. And I used to look at her and say, Auntie, I bought the plot. What rubbish? That plot belongs to Mr. XYZ and he is in XYZ country. I said, yes, Auntie, but his power of attorney is there in Mercedes and I did the signing with him. They were flabbergasted. They were shocked. मतलब इतना judgmental.
I can understand. Khairoo, I'll ask you a question. People keep on talking on, issues. Goa has got this common civil code,
Right.
right? Which grants women equal rights,
Right.
right? Of people living here who got married here. Women has got equal right in the husbands and vice versa. The husband also has got equal right
Protects
in
the
the
rights,
wives.
yeah.
Unless, you pre-nullify it through a prenup and something of that sort. But it gives women so many rights. In part, did this also be
See, overall, if you look at India's status and all over the world, I'm talking, women own in women's name only 5% of property all over the world.
Wow.
Okay, so this is a data which is scientifically proven.
Okay.
Okay, so in women's name, properties are only 5% of properties. So if you come to all India, I'm sure it must be 2%. Must be
Yeah,
even
maybe,
less.
Maybe.
Okay?
Maybe only in the recent times when they started encouraging discounts in stamp duties if there is a woman
Right.
included, then some properties
But
might
her
have.
name would have been
Otherwise,
included.
Included. I
But
agree on
not
that.
the first name. I'm talking about the first name.
Yes,
All
yes.
over the data says
Mostly
first
the
name
single owner at
Yeah.
is
least.
yes. So coming back to Goa, this law ensures that the lady or the gent gets 50-50%, right? Whose ever name the property is registered in.
Yes, and
Okay?
inheritance also they get equal rights, right?
Yes. But this is only as far as Goa is concerned. And it is very positive for women. But in our cases, we made our own properties. So
Absolutely.
it doesn't apply to
I-
us in that sense. But overall, if you talk about women, it definitely
protects,
is
yes.
protects
Why
and it
I
is
was
positive.
asking about this is most people don't know about the common civil code in Goa granting equal rights. Whether you get it, whether you benefit or not is a separate part.
True.
But that you have the right to inheritance, the right to equal footing.
The law stands with you.
It is such an important thing, don't you think?
Right,
Yes, yes.
absolutely.
So whether you benefit
absolutely.
or not is a separate part, but it empowers you.
Right.
And that empowerment
At least it is
in
there
the Goan
in
context.
the context of legality.
Yes. Now it is there in Indian state also. They have made equal rights of inheritances and things have come. Wife has got right in the. However, Goa is even more advanced. It equates the wife, but equally says the husband is also equally empowered and treated at par. So women were treated at par in Goa.
Yes.
So that became a thing.
Yes, but that
this
is because of the Portuguese
Portuguese
code.
influence.
And which the Indian government
Continues
continues
to,
to.
yes, continue
okay?
to
There's a whole debate
uphold.
going on
No, no,
differently. That's different. But as of date, as we speak, yes, it protects women. Yes, it gives them that right. And yes, it is a positive.
Absolutely. I
This
wish that
for,
the whole country rather adopts this aspect of it. So it empowers the most, neglected, rather the most powerful half of our country, which I consider women are very more powerful and more stronger than men. I'll tell you why I say this is, I see them running houses. And look, क्या करती है घर चलाती है ना 10 दिन चलाना पड़ जाए ना आटे दाल का भाव पता लग जाता है.
Absolutely.
So I see women do things beyond, and women who work, I'll tell you, are running a house. It is not they run, do their work by leaving the housework to somebody else.
Right.
No, they are doing the housework plus they are working. And you two are one pedestal above it. You're entrepreneurs.
Thank
To
you.
be an entrepreneur, I know what struggle I went through. 31 years
Absolutely.
of my business, how I have struggled. And you being women, what struggles you must have gone through, I can understand and admire you people for it.
Thank you.
Because
Thank you.
you ran your own houses, you have raised your children so successfully, you have built your business, you have kept your house, you have done, built yourself from down to where you are today,
Absolutely.
where people look at you with, grudging respect. I call it grudging respect because that respect had to be taken.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It was not naturally given to you.
Nobody
not.
made any phone
Yes,
calls and
yes.
said, okay,
Yes.
give her the contract
So
or
people-
give her the job or anything
Today, what
like
status you have got is because of your hard work.
Absolutely.
I called Khairoo the number one investment, this thing in Goa probably, is because I have seen her work. And I told you that you are the topmost PR person I have met in Goa.
Yes.
You are beyond Goa, not just in Goa.
Yes,
I have seen
absolutely.
your work, which was not just in Goa, beyond Goa
Yes.
also. How you have contacted, how you took things,
We
how you
did
took
a
care.
assignment for you in
Yes,
Pune.
Pune and Bombay also.
Bombay also, and we do assignments in Bangalore also, and we do in
Superb.
Delhi also. But that Amit ji requires a lot of clear-mindedness.
Yes.
Okay, and you should have a lot of clarity in your heart.
Yes.
Okay, that this is a customer and this is the requirement and this is the professional ethics that you keep and your commitment towards work. And that's where we both have the same background, where it's accountability, whether it's ethics, whether it's commitment to work. All that is, absolutely common.
One more question. You both, since Goa is a traditional place also, work-wise it was not that accepting. How was it when you married? into another faith. Wasn't it how our parents?
I think you'll have
this
to
thing-
shoot a whole episode.
No, just one.
We'll tell you a lot of interesting stories.
Masala, it must have been a masala film, wouldn't it?
वो separate episode करते
Episode
हैं.
separate करेंगे, but just in a short
Only
word.
for Amit ji will shoot it.
Just tell me one
Sawal
thing.
jawab.
Nahin, I'll just ask you this: why was it like a Bollywood thriller? Was it?
Absolutely,
Huh?
absolutely.
Because at that times, I'm asking you this because when my mother also, my mother is a Goan.
Okay.
When my dad is an army officer, Hindu,
Okay.
Punjabi, not even from Goa. Then
Okay.
they also more than 50 years back when
Oh, wow.
they got married.
They got married in Goa. Oh,
so
okay.
it was I think must have been a fireworks. I was
Absolutely.
not there to see it, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would have mentioned it. But there are stories, there are things, and I can understand what you guys would have gone through being here in Goa also.
Right.
But it must have been a Bollywood thriller.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
to come through that shows the strength you people had.
And you are never, really accepted. Let's put it.
Yes.
Let's accept that you'll never be accepted.
Completely.
Completely.
Yes.
You'll never be
As
accepted.
I said, you'll be grudgingly
because
accepted.
because you're different. You
Yes.
speak a different language, you come from a different culture, you don't change your name, you don't change your surname, you don't dress up like the community you're married in, and you don't do any of that, and yet you are strong enough to do what you do. So, yes.
But you have grudging
You just
respect for that.
you just have to
As I
accept
said,
it.
grudging acceptance. So,
Yeah.
like you, I admire you both for continuing writing your family name.
Thank
could
you.
have
Yes,
you could have chosen not to do that and be accepted,
No,
by
we
being.
both married very young, Amitji. We were hardly in our early 20s and we got married.
Yet you had
so
the
that
strength
is
to
what we
continue the
wanted to
name.
do. Okay, we will never convert and we'll carry father's surname. That is like, I think we just both wanted to do that.
And yet I'm saying you in your 20s,
Yeah, we were
in
very
the
young.
time when you were, and yet you had the moral conviction to continue with it.
But we had
Admirable.
good husbands
Thank you.
also,
Thank
supporting
you.
us and
Rather,
standing by us.
I would also say,
Yes.
I should
Our
also
husbands
thank your
stood-
husbands.
And
supported us.
They are love marriages.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So we had great men supporting us also
And
with
you
all.
expected in the
But,
society, your parents to go and find you somebody from another faith is too much.
Yeah.
Let's not
Yeah.
get into that.
But both of them, no?
Yeah. both
Yeah,
of
both
us.
of
But
the
our
sisters.
parents also were very supportive. Our parents were supportive, absolutely.
Superb.
Because once they realize that you are going to
Determined.
marry,
Yes.
then we are with you. Okay, so they would be like the traffic lights and tell you, look, it's not easy. It's
So
it's
they
difficult.
tried to dissuade
Yeah.
you, but
Yes.
once they realized that your mind is made up and you're not going to get dissuaded,
Right.
they stood by you and accepted.
Yes, yes.
So that is a
And,
great thing. That's a
Absolutely.
great thing.
And our parents were very supportive when the kids were born and we needed help. And especially in 2012 when I went and did my MBA. So I got a scholarship MBA.
Wow.
Yes, from Goldman Sachs and to
Wow.
ISB Hyderabad. So they
Wow. ISB Hyderabad.
Yes, yes.
That's a top business school. I know
Yes,
that.
yes, completely paid for. Goldman Sachs, I got the letter. And I was so stunned because my business did a turnover. So they wanted a business which did a certain turnover, which was headed by a lady. So my CA gave that certificate that with the
Oh, yes.
turnover hua hai, right? So when I got that letter from Goldman Sachs, I didn't know what to do because it involved me going to Hyderabad for the classes,
Bangalore.
right? And it
You
involved
want
me going to Bangalore.
2 notches higher suddenly.
Right. So
ISB
I didn't know.
Hyderabad.
I didn't know. I just took that letter and went straight to my mom. And my Abir was 4 years old, my son. So she looked at me and I looked at her and I told her, look, this is what I've got. It's a completely paid for MBA. So she said in Gujarati, you go. I will look after it. And
So
those were
admirable.
golden words. So he was 4 years old and she took over and she let
That
me
is
go.
so admirable.
Yeah.
And I'll
So
tell you what.
supportive, right?
Yes, yes.
So
And this was like a 2-3 year.
no, this was entire 3 months. We had to be on campus, off campus. They would give us assignments. You come back, and the assignment was to run your own business more effectively, put processes in place,
These are
systems in
specialized
place.
Postgraduate, these things where
They are not
you-
book
you're
knowledge
not-
mugging.
Yes.
That is for
And
real
you have
business
to stay
people.
there for 3 months, but it is overall a course that takes your business in what you accomplished there, how you change your things. And ISB is one of the premier schools. Accelerate,
Yes,
ISB,
yes.
IM,
That's where I
IMs,
thought
all
of
the-
putting up my second company, eTech Skill Academy. So I went and spoke to my mentor that I want to do something in education. So then we sat, we brainstormed, and that is how eTech Skill Academy was born at that
Superb.
point, right? But the crux of the matter is coming back to whoever you marry. Once your parent is supporting you, then it's
life becomes easy.
Absolutely.
So I hope that your parents listen to this and no, not like that. What I meant is parents listen to you speaking
Yeah.
and realize that cutting their children off from their lives, from their choices they have made, good or bad, is not the right thing. You have to accept decisions of adults, and you have to, probably it might not be to your liking, but be supportive enough to help their children overcome good times or bad, whatever they have faced through their decisions, because they could have made a bad decision in an arranged marriage also.
Absolutely.
And we are seeing so much things happening in the world across that let us not get into it. Let's
Absolutely.
remain rooted in what we are talking about. So just last finishing question to you guys.
Perhaps about the safety and
Yeah,
the culture of.
the safety and culture, everybody knows that Goa is one of the
Goa
most
is the
safest
best.
places.
Yep.
I would rather
Goa is
just
the
say,
best.
in your lives, would you change anything?
No, I'm just so glad to be born in the community that I am in, the state that I am in, the place, even the city, Panjim.
Yeah.
Wow, imagine if I was from somewhere else. So we are just blessed.
Imagine you were in Haryana.
No. Then I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing.
Let's not, no abuse to
Yeah,
Haryana.
yeah.
I just asked you as a
It would
question.
be different, no?
It would have been different.
Very different.
Imagine you would have been in Bihar,
Yeah,
UP.
Today, see, we go out with our cars, friends go out, I drop them, I come back home. We are so safe. There's
Yes,
nothing
comparatively,
to be
Goa is a very
worried.
safe place.
You reach home safely.
There are few
There are
incidents that
strangers,
happens.
once,
but
twice, my
that
car
is
is
not
gone
because
and
of
they've just
any,
helped me out and got
I don't
out.
think Goans per se are into it. Maybe in the coastal belt, people who are in the business or such of XYZ businesses might be, but most of the people in Goa treat women with respect.
Yes, and Goans are very honest. They are good people. Goans.
All over the world. All over the
Goans
world,
are
if you
very-
Most of
if you
the people.
find Goans
Yes.
working,
Goans are
they are
very
valued.
good, honest people.
Yeah, when I went
Amazing
to
people, Goans.
UAE also recently,
Yeah.
they talk with so much respect.
Yes.
They look at Goans as honest, hardworking, accountable, sincere people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We are not like some other states are known for cheating or futting or con, nothing. Goans are damn good. So we take a lot of pride in being Goans, and
Yes.
of course on a funny note they say no, but y'all don't work like Goans. Y'all have a Gujarati blood in y'all and whatever. Because the way we work,
Right.
we don't have a time. We'll take a client's call even on a Sunday or a Saturday evening.
Uh-huh.
So but
That is also a fallacy. I think Goa has got a good work-life balance.
Balance,
Yes.
And
absolutely.
which all of us have learned to imbibe in. And believe you me, it is more than what we do, rather than what we don't do, that makes us. I think this is the fact. And with both of you, I've seen that. Parvish, I have worked with, so I can comment more about work with her. I've seen that the way she doesn't do certain works also has built your repute, right? So
Right.
I think what you don't do also makes what you are.
Right,
Correct.
but then you should have clarity of thought.
Yes, absolutely.
That's where the crux is, right?
Any last
Your
questions?
ethics and your culture comes out through what you don't do also, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So we've had such a lovely session with two very honorable women entrepreneurs of Goa.
Thank you.
Honestly, I think
Successful
I need,
women entrepreneurs.
I need to get to know them better because I'm quite amazed by your story and how far you've gotten and how much you have done to get this far. So thank you so much for this
Thank you
beautiful
for having
episode.
me.
Thank you for having us.
We have been telling about her achievements, and I think her achievement is, I think you have earned laurels in your own field of insurance, being one of the top people to do what they call it, MODT and
MDR,
MDRT.
But she's traveled the world
and
with her.
traveled the world,
yeah,
been
yes.
awarded so many times.
Yes.
You, are well respected. Media people, when they speak with you,
Yes, there's
if
a lot
you-
of respect.
You can, if you somebody throws your name in, there is grudging admiration.
Correct.
So I've seen that respect people give.
I have had rivals
Yes.
come up to me and say
Yes,
that to
yes,
me.
yes,
Oh, yeah?
yes, yes. But there is a lot of respect for her, and she saved me on a couple of occasions. On
Yes.
making disasters, because I'm quite outspoken. I tend to speak things that are not good for my own health.
Right,
But seriously, thank you both.
Thank you
both
so
for
much,
coming,
Amitji.
sharing your knowledge, your life, opening out and telling us so much
Yeah,
about
we have
Goa
never
and people.
spoken like this.
And
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
think
We
Yeah,
have
yeah,
never
yeah.
spoken so much.
we wanted you to hear as
Yeah.
successful entrepreneurs.
We
It
have
was
only
a-
told the good part always.
No, but I'll tell you a fact.
Today
You
we
were
could
taken
say
in,
so many other
decided
things.
as a successful woman entrepreneur. But there was another thing. Two sisters.
Right.
Yes.
Being successful in two divergent fields.
Absolutely.
With
yeah.
no connection, business, this thing of each other, coming from different background, which is not built in that.
Right.
So women in so early, 30 years back, becoming entrepreneurs and then becoming such well-known success stories
Yeah.
was something we wanted to showcase and
Thank
tell
you
the
so
world
much. But it
that
is
this
your
is our talent,
generosity
this
also
thing.
that you
Yes.
thought,
No,
that
it's
such a
not,
thing
nothing.
is possible.
It is our honor that we have you here.
No,
Thank
we
you
have
both
just
to come
done
down.
our work, Amitji. It's
नहीं,
nothing
it is-
great.
you may
we
feel
have
that.
done what we had to do.
No, but
उसमें कोई बड़ी बात
for
नहीं
us
है.
to admire and acknowledge what you have done is
Thank
something
you.
that is an honor for us. Thank you for both for being here. Thanks
We
for
did
being
it for
on
our
this.
family. We did it for society.
and our communities.
Our communities.
Yes, that's
Yes.
Awesome.
important.
Very inspirational. I think once this episode comes out, also, a lot of young women should watch this
Right.
and understand what women can truly do. So
Thank
thank
you.
you once again for this wonderful time
Thank
together.
you, Ryan.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you,
Thank you,
Amitji.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Susegaad Musings. Stay tuned for the release of the next episode of Susegaad Musings exactly in 1 week. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and any other podcasting platform. Watch us on our YouTube channel or follow us on Instagram and Facebook @Susegaad Musings. Susegaad Musings is brought to you by Amit Chopra and me myself, Ryan Lobo. I will see you in the next episode.